Hey, welcome everybody. How you doing? This is our replay of the 73 World Series Game 3, the A's at Shea. And it's going to be Catfish Hunter versus Tom Seaver. So we expect it to be a heck of a game, a pitcher's duel. Let's see what happens. We're using History Maker Baseball. Now, History Maker Baseball is a very colorful and layered mechanic system. It's based on qualities rather than numbers. In other words, Tom Seaver is an ace, which is one of the best you can be as a pitcher, a top pitcher. He's flash, which means he strikes out a lot of guys, and he's got control, which means that he walks a limited number of guys. And Catfish Hunter is a semi-star, which tells me he didn't have as good a season as Seaver, and he's a control pitcher. He has good control. Now, he'll strike out guys, but not at the same rate as Seaver. There are two right-handers, and then on the right side, you'll see their batting statistics. You have some running information, you have some experience information. Seaver's a semi-icon, and Hunter by this time is an icon. Just means the time in the league. And that's pretty much it. Now, Ray Fosse has vanished. This is the mystery of the day. I cannot understand where he has gone. I looked under the laptop, inside the rule book, under these mats. I've looked in both teams, in both envelopes. I didn't move anything from the last game I played. It sat there. So this is a huge mystery, which I know will be resolved at some point, because I had him just the other day. He played in the last game that I played, so I don't understand this. I looked inside this chart. I was actually using a different one, and I looked inside that one. So anyway, it's a mystery. I'm using a pitcher hitting card for Fosse. The great thing about this game, it's easy to just create a card real fast. You can either look exactly what the data is or just make a blank card, and the game engine itself will carry you through creating any player you want. And that's what I'm doing now. I've simplified it to the point where I'm not going to, rack my brains over creating a card, which ultimately may or may not make a difference, because your role may be just a generic role in that the pitcher, in other words, in this game, when you roll, it goes through the pitcher first. So if the pitcher gets you out, you're out. It never gets to the batter card. The batter card does have to do with the pitcher, but not necessarily always. In other words, if you roll a 3-3-3 and Tom Seaver's an ace, well, that's going to be a pop-up. Doesn't matter what you are as a batter. In other words, pitcher basically threw a pitch that you couldn't handle and you popped it up, which makes sense to me. I like that idea of you got to go. The game engine runs through the pitcher, the mound first. So let's get started. I will do a little bit of a tutorial as we go. Not a heavy, deep tutorial, but a little bit of a tutorial. And the more complicated stuff, I may stop and show you. So it's going to be Campaneris leading off, Rudy in left field. Third is Bando at third base. Jackson in right field. Gene Tennis at first. Davalillo is playing center field today. Ray Fosse, who's MIA, we're using a pitcher batting card for him. Dick Green, second baseman, and then Catfish Hunter. Now the hot batter is Bert Campaneris. The cold batter is Reggie Jackson. I did that based on Game 3 of the 73 World Series. Bert did very well. Let me look at the stats real quick and just tell you. Hold on a second. Let's get back here. All right, I'm doing two things right now, getting a stadium crowd going, and I'm looking for the 1973 World Series. Let's get that. So I will be able to update you. 1973. I'll be able to give you kind of information on what's going on here. World Series, all right. Using Baseball Reference. All right, this is going to be game 3. So we got our crowd going. Dick Green, Catfish Hunter. I don't know why I was looking this up. But anyway, then for the Mets, it's going to be Wayne Garrett at third base, Felix Mian at second, batting second, Rusty Staub batting third. In right field and left field is Cleon Jones, the left fielder, John Milner, the first baseman, batting fifth, Jerry Grody batting sixth. The catcher, Don Hahn in center field, Bud Harrelson, the shortstop, and Tom Seaver, the pitcher. So let's get started. And we're going to roll. Now, I was pulling cards the last game, and I'm going to, for more randomness, I will roll this one. And I'm going to throw down the decider die. In this game, we use the decider die for a lot of decisions. All right, that's why it's called a decider die. It's got 3 pips on one part of the die and 3 no pips on the other part of the die. So it's a yes if it's a pip, and it's a no if it's a non-pip. Now the A's are semi-harmony. That means that they won a couple of games, and the Mets are semi-dissonance because they lost a couple of games. That's how I do it. All right, first batter is going to be Bert Campaneris versus Tom Seaver. So 1-4-6. You start with the lowest. Oh, and you can't see the die roll. Wait a second here. How do we do that? Let me bring this down just a little bit and see if you can see the die roll here a little bit. Okay. No good. No good. No good. Let's push this out of the way here. Bring this down. You know what? Doing that. There we go. Problem solved. All right. So right here you have a 146, and it asks me, is your pitcher a flash? And Tom Seaver is a flash. You can see it right there. So that's a strikeout. So Campaneris down on strikes, 1 out. Next batter, Joe Rudy. Right-hander. He's a semi-slugger, semi-eager, and semi-whiffer. And that's a 2-3-5. 2-3-5. Ask me if Seaver's wild, then it would be a base on balls. He is not. Eager. It asked me if he is eager, and the decider die says he is eager, but there is a thumb, which means if he's a whiffer, and let's see, he's a semi-whiffer, so we already used this to find out if he's eager. He is, so we're going to roll again to see if he's a whiffer. And he is, so it's a strikeout. Seaver strikes out the first 2 batters, and we go to Sal Bando. Here's the pitch. And that's a 3-5-5. 3-5-5. Ask me if the pitcher's a struggler. He is not. Is the batter a champion? He's a semi-hero, semi-home run king. So it's a ground ball. Unless he's a whiffer, he is not. To second base, and that's Felix Mian is right there. Throws out Bando, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down for Seaver in the first. Okay, it's going to be Wayne Garrett. He's the hot batter for the day. A rookie in '69. Been in the league for 4 years now. Here's the pitch from Catfish Hunter. 3-3-5. We just saw that one, I believe. Maybe not. Anyway, ask me if Hunter is wild. He is not. Is the batter a sat sack? He's a semi-slugger, so it's a single to right. So Garrett singles on at first, and the next batter is Felix Mian. And there goes Garrett, and the throw down not in time. So Garrett steals second base. Here's the pitch to Felix Mian from Jim Catfish Hunter, 2-3-6. So 2-3-6. Double controller dynamic. And Seaver is not. I'm sorry, we're looking at Hunter now. We're looking at Catfish Hunter. And Catfish Hunter is not. He's a star in control. Semi-control. Pitcher batting? No. It's a walk. So 2-3-6 is a walk to Felix Mian. Runners on first and second. Nobody out, and it's Rusty Staub. Here's the pitch from Hunter. It's a 134. Ask me if the catcher is gold. He's semi-gold. Decider die says he is. That's a strikeout. Unless the batter is a good eye, and he is not. So one away. Cleon Jones. Here's the pitch to Cleon. 3-3-4. Ace or star. He's semi-star. Decider die says he is not. Ask me if the batter's a sad sack. He's semi-slugger, semi-eager. It's a single to left. Runners advance 2 bases on any single, so that's an RBI single. Around to score is Wayne Garrett. Going to third is Mian. Mets are up 1-0. Now the Mets are down 2-0 in the series. Has a flag. Eager batter grounds out. He is. Oh, wait a second. At the end of that single to left, it says eager batter grounds out. So he is not an eager batter. Oh wait, we used that die to decide if he was a star. So we have to re-roll. So a bullet erases that run scored, and thank goodness I don't have to erase anything. So the play stands, and Cleon Jones was not eager on that pitch. Waited back and stroked it for a single. Runners on first and third, 1 out. Mets are up 1-0, bottom of the first. John Milner. John Milner bats from the left side and led the Mets in home runs with about 20, not very many. So it's going to be a 3-6-6. A 3-6-6. Under the pitcher column, there is nothing. Then it goes to the ask me if he's a pinch hitter. That's where pinch hitter plays a role, and he is not. It's a fly ball center field. And let's see. Stoic runner on third base, holds on flyouts, others score. Who's on third base? It's Felix Millan. And Millan is semi-stoic. The side of die says he is not stoic, so he's going to score on a sacrifice fly. So Millan scores 2-0 Mets, 2 away, and it's Jerry Grody. Here's a pitch from Hunter, a 2-4-6. Ask me if Hunter's controlling. He is. It's a ground ball. Hunter feels his position, throws out Grody, and that retires the side, but not before the Mets score 2 runs on 2 hits, and they lead it 2-0. All right, leading it off for the A's in the top of the second is going to be Reggie Jackson. 2-5-6. Struggler, pitcher is not a struggler. 2-5 champion or patient. Jackson is not champion or patient. It's infield drama, so we're going to pull a card and grab the top 2, 2-3. Infield drama 2-3. Ask me second baseman iron. That is Millan at second. Millan is not iron. So that says no. Otherwise it's a routine ground out. 4-3. 1 away. Next is Gene Tennis. Seaver to Tennis. So 1-5-5. And nothing under the pitcher column. Ask me if he's a home run king. Now, he's a semi-home run king. And the decider die says he's a home run king, so that's a deep drive to left field. Back goes the left fielder, Jones, to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. 2-1. Gene Tennis connects off Seaver, and Seaver wishes he had that pitch back. Now, Gene Tennis hit a 3-run homer in Game 1 for the game-winning hit in extra innings. All right, so let's go. Vic Davalillo played in this game, played center field, batted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th. That's a 3-4-6. 3-4-6. Nothing under the pitcher column. Ask me if the batter is eager. Davalillo is eager, so it's a fly out center field. And now it's Ray Fosse, and I'll show you how this works with no card for Fosse. You just roll. Say 4-5-6. 4-5-6 has nothing under the pitcher. Right? Nothing under the pitcher. Ask me if Fosse is patient. Well, since I have no card and I didn't put down any qualities, he is impatient, so it's a fly out to center field. And that's going to retire the side. So the A's pick up one big run, and after 1.5, it's 2-1. Now this takes us to what we call a chemistry chart. So we're going to pull a card. Don Hahn is going to bat under the chemistry card. We're going to pull a 2-6. 2-6, batting team harmony. Well, no, they're semi-dissonant, so they're not. Otherwise, it's a ground out, the second one away. So Hahn grounds out. Go back to the regular chart. 80% of it comes off the regular chart, which is basically just 2 pages. Pretty simple, but yet it's deep. Harrelson, the pitch from Blue, it's a 2-4-4. Ask me if Blue, not Blue, Hunter, if Hunter's an ace, he is not an ace. Ask me if the batter's a champion, he's not a champion. Then it goes to ground ball to shortstop unless he's a whiffer, and he's not. So it's a 6-3. Campaneris over to Tennis, 2 away. And Tom Seaver, the batter. Let's say 1-4-6. Flash. Hunter is not Flash. Champion. Seaver is not a champion. So it's a ground out to second base. And that's going to be Green over to Tennis, 4-3. That retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. Go to the top of the third. Dick Green leading it off. The pitch from Seaver. 5-6-6, wild, he is not. Good eye. Dick Green is not a good eye. Strikeout. That's number 3 for Seaver. And it takes us to the baseball right now chart. So the pitcher's going to bat off of the right now chart. And it's a 5-5. Ask me timeout, conference at the mound, play resumes, batter draws a base on ball. So Seaver walks Hunter. Hunter's on at first with 1 out. In the top of the third, it's 2-1 Mets. Wayne Garrett at third base. Second baseman Mian. Shortstop is Bud Harrelson, and first baseman is John Milner. Here's Bert Campaneris. And that's a 3-6-6. 3-6-6, nothing under the pitcher column. Ask me if Campaneris is a pinch hitter. He is not. Fly ball center field. 2 out. And it's Joe Rudy. The pitch to Rudy, it's a 2-4-6. 2-4-6 is the pitcher control. Seaver is control. So that's going to be a comebacker. Seaver feels his position, and that retires the side. So after striking out the first batter, he walked the pitcher, but then he retired the following 2 batters. And we go to bottom half of the third inning. Score 2-1 Mets. Wayne Garrett leading it off. So 1-5-5. Is Garrett a home run king? He is not. He's a semi-slugger. It's a fly out. Deep center field. Back goes the center fielder. Davalillo to the track. Makes the catch. 1 away. Felix Mian next. Felix Mian walked in his first at bat and scored. 1-5-6. Nothing under the pitcher. Asked me if the batter is a whiffer. He is not. He's the opposite of a whiffer. Outfield drama. So we're going to pull a card. We're going to look at 2 numbers. 22. Outfield drama asked me if the center fielder is gold. Is Davalillo gold? I do not know if he's gold. He is not gold. Okay. So it's a 2-2. He is not gold. It's going to be a single and a wild throw. So it's going to be a single by Mian, and a wild throw allows Mian to get to second base, E7. So 1 out. Mian is on at second base, and Rusty Staub, the batter. 3-5-6. Are they the same? In other words, is Hunter a lefty because Staub is a lefty? No. That's where the platoon system kicks in. So this game has a little bit of everything. Doesn't overdo it and doesn't make it so complicated that you have to go back and forth 100 times. It's just very simple. It's worked in. It's weaved into the system without it shaking it up. Now ask me if the batter is utility or sad sack. It is not. So it's single down the right field line, and runner advance 2 bases on any hit. So that's an RBI single. Around to score is Mian, and it's 3-1 Mets. Staub is on at first. And it's going to be Cleon Jones. It's 2-5-5. Ask me if Hunter is a star. He's semi-star. The side of the die says he is not. 2-5-5. Is Jones a home run king? He is not. He is a semi-slugger. Fly out to left field. Right there is Rudy. Puts it away for out number 2. It's 3-1 Mets in the bottom of the third. And it's a 1-2-4. 1-2-4 asked me if the pitcher's control. Hunter is control. That's me, a ground ball hit right at Campaneris. He throws on the run and gets Milner to retire the side. But not before the Mets pick up another run on 2 hits and an error. They lead it by a score of 3-1. Now the Mets are down 2-0 in the series, so it's important that they win the game. It's going to be Sal Bando leading it off in the top of the 4th for the A's. Tom Terrific, the franchise, on the mound for the Mets. So 2-5-6. Ask me if the pitcher's a struggler. He is not. Champion or patient? Is Sal Bando champion or patient? No. Infield drama, so we're going to pull a card. We use these top 2 numbers, 3-5. Infield drama. Ask me if the third baseman is iron. The third baseman for the Mets, is he iron? He is not iron. He has no quality there. Just an average fielder. So that was 3-5. Not iron. Otherwise it's a routine ground out. So it's grounded to Garrett. Over to first. 1 away. And it's Jackson, Reggie Jackson. Now 2-4-6. 2-4-6 is the pitcher control. Seaver is control. Another comebacker. 2 away. And Gene Tennis. Tennis homered earlier in the game. 1-4-5. Pitcher struggler, no. It's going to be a ground ball to third base. Garrett fires to first, retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. And we go to the bottom half of the 4th after 3.5. It's Mets 3 and the A's 1. It's going to be Jerry Grody leading it off for the Mets against Catfish Hunter. 3-5-6. Are they the same? Grody's a righty. Hunter's a righty. So that's a strikeout. Unless they're the same pitcher throws. Yeah. Yep. So Grody strikes out. And that's strikeout number 2. one away. Don Hahn, he grounded out in his first at bat. It's a 3-4-4. 3-4-4 prospect. Hunter's not a prospect. He's an icon. He's been around for a while. 3-4-4 patient. Is Don Hahn patient? No, he's the opposite. He's semi-eager. So it's popped up. Right side. Green. 2 down. And it's Bud Harrelson. 3-3-6. 3-3-6. Ace or dynamic? He is not. Sat-sack, utility, or patient? He's semi-utility. Side of die says he is. Strike 3. Called strike 3. And Harrelson didn't like it. And at the end of 4, it's Mets 3, A's 1. We're replaying the 1973 World Series. This is game 3. The A's are up 2-0. So the Mets must win this game. You don't want to go into that final elimination game down 3-0. Not a good thing. Not a good feeling. So in the top of the 5th, it's going to be Davalillo, Fosse, and Green. The pitch from Seaver. 1-2-4. 1-2-4 is Seaver control. He is, let's say, chopper to the shortstop. Harrelson throws on the run. Gets Davalillo by a step. 1 down. Now the mystery today is that Ray Fosse's card has vanished. I have no idea. I've looked everywhere. And we've used it 2 days ago. And it's just poof. So we're using and that's the nice thing about History Maker Baseball, how you can just easily create a player. You know how when you have those players that have 9 at bats in the season, and you just want to have them in there because you want actual lineups. Well, History Maker Baseball allows you to recreate the stats for the batter, the qualities for the batter, very, very quickly. It just takes a couple of minutes. Now, if you're even lazier than that, like I am, I just used the pitcher hitting card, and he's got no qualities. He can still get hits. He can still do a lot of things, but there's no particular qualities for him, and I'm hoping to find his card. You know, if I was doing a season replay, I'd kind of ask somebody to show me the stats, his qualities, and I would just write it on a card. But just for this one game, I didn't think it necessary. All right, so it's Ray Fosse. So we're going to roll, and I'll show you how that works with a pitcher, with a batter with no qualities. So it's a 3-3-5. 3-3-5. Ask me if the pitcher is wild, and he is not. So it asked me if the batter is sat-sack. No, because I don't know that. So it's going to be a single to right and a stolen base if he is stoic. So it's going to be a single, and Fosse is stoic, so he's not going to run. I'm making him stoic. He's a catcher, so he's not stealing bases here. So he's going to stay at first and stick Green. And it's a 2-2-4. 2-2-4. Pitching at home. The Mets are pitching at home, so it's popped up left side. Harrelson calls for it. And that's where the game engine also integrates home field advantage. Very cool. I like that. It's something that may or may not come up, but when it does, hey, crowd is cheering for you, gives you that extra adrenaline boost, and you make a play that you otherwise wouldn't have. I like that. You get an extra out, right? So now there's 2 outs. Fosse's on at first. Dick Green pops up to shortstop Harrelson, and it's Jim Catfish Hunter. Jim Catfish. Oh boy. Okay, I've got another blue one here. That went all the way across the room. Jim Catfish Hunter here in the top of the 5th is sat-sack, utility, a scrapper, eager, and a whiffer. 2-5-6. And 2-5-6 asked me if the pitcher's a struggler. He is not. struggler means 3 consecutive or 4 consecutive hits that he's allowed, and Seaver has not allowed that. He's only allowed 1 this inning. So is the batter a champion or patient? Hunter is neither a champion or patient. So it's infield drama. Going to pull a card to get the 2-5-5 infield drama. Ask me if the first baseman's iron. Let's see what Milner is. I don't know that he's iron. He may be iron. Milner is not iron. He's just no quality. So 5-5, he is not iron. Otherwise, it's a routine ground out. Milner, flips to terrific covering, and that retires the side. The A's pick up no runs on 1 hit and no errors, and after 4.5, it's 3-1 Mets. So this game is a whole lot of fun, as you can see. Leading it off for the Mets is going to be Tom Terrific, and that's a 2-4-4. Ask me if Hunter is an ace. He is not. Champion for the pitcher, and Seaver is not. So it's be a ground out to short unless he's a whiffer. He's a whiffer, so Seaver strikes out. That's a 4th strikeout for Jim Catfish Hunter. Now, Jim Catfish Hunter eventually is signed with the Yankees as a free agent, has a couple of decent years with them, but then suffers a series of injuries that really prevents him from fulfilling his potential. 3-3-4. 3-3-4. Ace or star? Wayne Garrett, left-handed batter. Ask me if the pitcher is ace or star. Well, he's semi-star, and the decided die says yes, he is, and you can see that right there, I believe. So that's going to be popped up the right side. It's going to be 2 outs now. So, and it's Felix Millan. And it's 2-3-6. 2-3-6. Ask me if he's double control. Hunter's not double control. Pitcher batting, no. It's a walk. This is the 2nd time that Millan has walked, and the 3rd time he's been on base. So there's 2 outs. Millan is on at first, and it's Rusty Staub. Here's the pitch to Rusty Staub. It's a 166. Ask me if the pitcher's a workman. He is not. A whiffer. Staub is not a whiffer. So it's a ground ball to 3rd base. That's going to be a 5-4 fielder's choice, and that's going to retire the side. That's going to send us to the red, which means the right now chart. I'm sorry, no, it's the player experience chart for the next batter, who's going to be Bert Campaneris. So after 5, 3-1 Mets. And it's going to be Bert Campaneris leading it off on the player experience chart. 1-3. Now his experience is he's icon, so he's been around. An icon 1-3 prospect pitcher. Seaver is not a prospect pitcher. He's a semi-icon. So that's going to be a ground ball to Garrett at 3rd. Fires to 1st and throws out Campaneris. Joe Rudy. 4-4-5. Workman, patient, base on balls. He's not, in other words, pitcher's not, Seaver's not a workman. Ask me if the batter's patient. He is not. He's semi-eager. So it's a ground ball to 1st. Milner, 3 unassisted. And Sal Bando. 2 outs, top of the 6th. 3-0, 3-1 Mets. 1-4-6. 1-4-6 is Seaver flash. He is. Strike 3. Side retired. Seaver with his 4th K of the game. 3 up, 3 down for Terrific. Go to the bottom of the 6th. Cleon Jones leads it off. The pitch from Hunter. So 1-2-4. Control pitcher. He is control. Ball chopped to shortstop. Campaneris throws on the run, one away. Milner's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly. 1-3-6. Is Hunter an ace? He is not. Is the batter a whiffer? He's semi-whiffer. Decided Die says he is. Strike 3. That's number 5 for Hunter. 2 away. And it's Jerry Grody. And it's 3-5-6. 3-5-6. Are they the same? Righty batter, righty pitcher. That's where the platoon. And that's strikeout number 6. 3 up, 3 down. And that's 6 complete. It's 3-1 Mets. We go to the top of the 7th. And it's Reggie Jackson leading it off. Mr. October, Reginald Martinez Jackson. Mr. October. The pitch. 1-1-5 from Seaver. Is Seaver fresh? Well, this is inning number 7, so he is not fresh anymore. He is neutral, so that's a no. Is the batter a home run king or a sad sack? All right, 1-1-5. So Reggie Jackson is a home run king, and that's a strikeout. Swung right through a hard, high one. 1 away. Gene Tennis. 1-5-5. 1-5-5. Pitcher, nothing there. Ask me if Tennis is a home run king. He's a semi-home run king. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a home run in the 2nd inning. And the decider die says he is a home run king because he's a semi-home run king, and that's a deep drive to left field. Back goes the left fielder Jones to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. 3-2. So Tennis with 2 home runs today brings the A's within 1 run. 1 out, nobody on. Vic Davalillo. Here's the pitch. It's a 3-6-6. 3-6-6. Pinch hitter, no, fly ball, center field. Right there is Don Hahn. And now it's Ray Fosse. Here's the pitch to Fosse. It's a 3-4-6. 3-4-6. Nothing under the pitcher column. Ask me if he's eager. No, he's not eager. It's going to be a walk. Base on balls. So Fosse walks. 2 down. Fosse's on at first. Second time he's been on. And it's Dick Green. Dick Green is over 2. He's struck out and popped up. Here's the pitch from Terrific. 3-4-5. 3-4-5. Iron catcher. Grody is not iron catcher. So then ask me if the batter is a good eye. He is not a good eye. It's going to be a strikeout. And that's strikeout number 6 for Seaver, and that's going to retire the side. The A's leave 1, score 1 on the home run by Tennis, his 2nd of the day. And the game after 6.5, it's Mets 3, A's 2. It's going to be Don Hahn, Bud Harrelson, and Tom Seaver against Jim Catfish Hunter. And it was 3-4-5. It was 3-4-5, and that's going to put us in the baseball right now for Don Hahn. And it's a 3-3. Hot pitcher. Well, in his last, he struck out his last batter, so he is a hot pitcher. So the answer to that question is yes. Sports show highlight reel inning pitcher retires side on strikeouts. Whoa, what? Let's look at that again. So if it's a hot pitcher, and he is, because he struck out the last two batters, but he only needs to strike out the last batter he faced to be a hot pitcher. And I'm not sure if that carries over into a new inning. I have to look that up. But this sounds so cool that I'm going to do it anyway. So it's a highlight reel inning. Pitcher retires the side on strikeouts. So 7, 1 out. 8, 2 outs. 9, 3 outs. Wow. Catfish Hunter strikes out the side. Very cool, very cool. Love that about this game. You get that to come out, to happen every so often. All right, top of the 8th, 3-2 Mets. And it's going to be Catfish Hunter leading it off. And I'm going to just let Catfish bat. 2-4-6. 2-4-6 is Seaver control. He is. Again, another comebacker. This is the 4th comebacker. 1 away. And it's Bert Campaneris. Bert Campaneris is 0 for 3. He struck out, flied out, and grounded out. Here he is with 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. That's from the right side. That's a 1-4-4. Ask me if Seaver is flash. He is. Now it's going to go to something called the umpire symbol. On a 1-4-4 umpire symbol, questionable or lenient umpire calls ball 4. At home plate, it's Jerry Newdecker, and he's semi-lenient. The decider die says he is lenient, and that's ball 4. Now we can steal with Bert Campaneris. We can steal. There is a attempt stolen base. Okay, right here. I want you to see this. Attempt stolen base. First roll, decided die to see if runner gets jump. Okay, so we're going to do that. Does the runner get a jump? He does get a jump. Okay. Now, if the catcher is gold, now the catcher is normal, so it's going to be 1-4. We're going to roll a one-sided die, 1-4. He's thrown out stealing. So it's not so much the base runner, because the base runner already you expect it has to be an active base runner, and Campaneris is semi-active, so can be used multiple times during the game. So we're going to do this with the semi-active runner because he just stole a lot of bases, so he's going to be going in this situation. And a 1-4, he's thrown out. So let's roll a die. Let's see what happens. 1-4, he's out. And it's a 3. So he's thrown out. Next batter is a righty, excuse me. So the second baseman is going to cover. So that's 2-4. Caught stealing. And Jerry Grody guns down Bert Campaneris. Say 2-4-5 to Joe Rudy. 2-4-5. Nothing under the pitcher. Ask me if he's a hero. Joe Rudy is not a hero. He's popped up second base. And that's going to take us to player experience. Pop up second base, and that retires the side. So after 7.5, it's Mets 3 and the A's 2. Leading it off is Wayne Garrett, and he's going to be on the player experience chart. Now his experience is no quality. So we need to pull a card for 2 dice here. 1-4. 1-4 is going to ask me prospect batter, no. Otherwise a bloop single. So Garrett drops one in between the outfielders, and he's on at first. Felix Millan is going to be bunting. Going to roll 1 to bunt. We have a chart. That's a 4. A 4 says out at first, runners advance. So it's going to be a 1-4 successful sacrifice. So for Staub now, and Staub may be walked, and he will be walked. Intentional walk for Rusty, first and second. And it's Cleon Jones. So Catfish Hunter on the mound for the A's. It's the bottom half of the 8th inning. It's 3-2 Mets. The Mets are threatening here with runners on first. Rusty Staub and second, Wayne Garrett. They both take their lead. Cleon Jones, right-handed batter, steps into the box. He's 1 for 3 on the day. He singled in the first inning and drove in a run. He then flied out to left and grounded out. It's a 3-3-5. 3-3-5. Ask me if Hunter is wild. He is not. If the batter is sad sack, he is not. It's a single to right. Runners advance 2 bases on any hit, so that's going to score Garrett. And hustling over to third, it's going to be Staub. Unless he's a stoic, so I think Staub may be a stoic, so he may stop at second. Yep, he is stoic, so he's not going to make it to third. He's going to stop at second. Okay, so Staub is on at second. It's an RBI single for Jones. First and second went out. John Milner. Here's the pitch to Milner. It's a 4-5-5. Ask me if Hunter is flash. He is not. 4-5-5. Is Milner a home run king? He's a semi-home run king. The decider die says yes, he is a home run king. That's a deep drive to right field, and back goes Jackson to the track, to the wall, looks up. 3-run home run for John Milner. He cranked that one out of the park. Scores Staub ahead of him. Cleon Jones ahead of him. And the Mets now have scored 4 runs here and lead it 7-2 in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And that's a 3-run shot for John Milner, who in reality was the Mets' home run leader for that season. And now it's Jerry Grody, and out comes Dick Williams, and I'm just saying that off the top of my head. I think Dick Williams was their manager. I don't know for sure, but let's pretend. And we're going to get a pitcher in here. New pitcher. Maybe they let Catfish go a little bit too long. Who pitched in this game? Darryl Knowles. I think Darryl Knowles actually broke a record and pitched in every game in the 1973 World Series. So Darryl Knowles. Grody is a right-hander. That doesn't matter. I'm going to bring in Knowles. So Knowles is going to replace Hunter. And we're going to get a colored marker and mark it in here. There's 1 out. Here's the pitch to Grody. Say 1-3-4. Gold catcher, strikeout. He's semi-gold. The side guy says he is, unless Grody's a good eye, and he's not. So that's a strikeout. Knowles comes in and strikes out Grody for the second out. And it's Don Hahn. Don Hahn is grounded out, popped up, and struck out. So that was 7 1/3 for Hunter. Gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. We don't know totally the runs yet, but he had 1 walk, 2 walks, 3 walks, one of them intentional. And he struck out 9. He had that great inning where he struck out the side. Gave up one home run to John Milner. And Darryl Knowles against Don Hahn. Here in the bottom of the 8th, the Mets lead it by a score of 7-2 now. 2-4-6. 2-4-6. Ask me if Knowles is control. He is not. He's only a star. is the batter eager or sad sack? He's semi-eager. Decided die says he is eager. So that's popped up. Left side. Right there is Bando. And that retires the side. So Knowles comes in and retires 2 consecutive batters to get the A's out of that inning, which was a tough one, in which the Mets scored 4 runs. And it's a 7-2 ball game now. We go to the top of the 9th. In the top of the 9th, it's going to be Bando leading it off. He's 0 for 3. Jackson, and then Gene Tennis. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. This was an error caused by an error. And so it's going to be, he gave up 7 runs, only 6 earned. And Knowles came in with 2/3 of an inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 K, no home runs allowed. Sal Bando, Tom Seaver. The pitch. Mets are 3 outs away from making the series 2-1 A's, winning this game 4-4-4. Nothing under the pitcher. Asked me if the batter's a scrapper. He is not. And then it says home run king hits a home run. He's a semi-home run king. The side die says yes. And that's a deep drive to left field. Back goes the left fielder, Cleon Jones, to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. Home run. The 3rd round tripper solo shot that Seaver has allowed in this game. The A's, I mean, they had good power. They had a series of players with 20 or more home runs in 73. The Mets were scrawny in that area. Didn't have much of an offense at all. Great pitching staff. So now the score is 7-3, and it's Reggie Jackson. Nobody out here in the top of the 9th inning. It's 2-3-5. Wild, no. Eager. Is Jackson eager? No, he is not. 2-3-5. Ground ball. Unless he's patient, he is not patient. Ground ball to second base, Mian. 1 away. So Seaver retires Jackson. Gene Tennis. 4-5-5. Ask me if Seaver's flash, and he is. That's a strikeout unless Tennis is a good eye, and he is not. And that's strikeout number 7 for Seaver. 2 away. So after the leadoff homer, Seaver retires 2 consecutive batters, and now it's Vic Davalillo. Davalillo flied out to center, grounded out, and then flied out again. Let's see a pinch hitter. Since I haven't done too much of that in here, let's do something for the A's. And let's see. Pat Bork. He's the one that played in this game and pinch hit. So I like to bring in guys I don't know too much about. The unusual guys, the unsung guys. I always like that when they do something, it's just, I don't know, it makes baseball fun to me. So Pat Bork is going to bat for Davalillo. So pinch hitter. So left-handed batter. Here's the pitch from Seaver. It's a 2-5-6. 2-5-6. Is Seaver a struggler? No. Champion or patient? Bork is not champ. Oh, he is patient. So base on ball. So Bork works out a walk. And he's on at first with 2 outs, keeping the A's hopes alive. And it's going to be Ray Fosse. Ray Fosse's 1 for 2. He's reached base the last 2 times. Here's the pitch. 3-4-5. 3-4-5. Iron catcher. Not an iron catcher. Ask me if he's a good eye. He's not a good eye. That's a strikeout. Game over. 8th strikeout for Seaver. Seaver goes 9 complete. 3 runs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hits. Mets committed Any errors? I don't think so. Nope, no errors. So the A's, I'm sorry, I should have been looking at the A's. The A's have one error, actually. So that was wrong. Okay, one error. So the line score for the A's is 3 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. The Mets is 7 runs on 7 hits, and the A's committed no errors. The Mets, I got to look up here. Hold on a second. And the Mets committed no errors. And that's a ball game. Now the series is 2-1 A's. So the Mets have a chance. They won this one by a score of 7-3. The big hit coming from John Milner versus Jim Catfish Hunter. In the bottom of the 8th inning, it was a 3-run shot. Milner got a hold of that. And the next game that we're going to play in a while, it's going to be Game 4, August 17th, 1973. And it's going to be Kenny Holtzman, a left-hander, versus John Matlack, a left-hander. I believe he's a left-hander. I got to check that. I believe it's the battle of the left-handers. Let me double-check. Matlack is a lefty. There he is. Yes, battle of the lefties. So we put Tom Seaver away. We still don't know where Ray Fosse is. So I will ask around. I will call in the dogs and drag the river and get dust for prints, if you will, to find out what happened to my Ray Fosse card. And I may just ask some guys what his qualities were on the site, the play site on Facebook. And that's about it, guys. So the next game in a little while, Game 4 of the 1973 World Series, it's the A's leading it 2-1. And with Kenny Holtzman facing John Matlack, the Mets hope to tie the series at 2 apiece. So this is Combat Painter signing off from Shea Stadium in Time Travel Warp 19.